All right, now we should be back. Guys, go ahead and comment. Let me know if you guys can hear me down over there. That's definitely muy importante. There we go. I can see a comment. That's a great sign. Okay, I think what happened before is I had my Wi-Fi connected, and I guess there was something happening where my Wi-Fi wasn't working. So if I connect to my Wi-Fi is not working. I can't see anything, but I can hear you guys or I can read you guys' comments now. So for the record, like here, I can actually show you guys. I am watching the game. Yes, I can't hear the game super well, but that's because I'd rather have my headphones in so that way I can communicate. Real quick, I'm gonna be doing this. Let me do this. I'll be vectorizing this shoe, the Vapormax. This is actually gonna come out pretty dope when it's done, especially the bottom outsole. Let me zoom in. All these different colors over here. That gets really muddy. What's going on, Esteban? Gets pretty crazy, but it's gonna look super dope when it's done. I'm hoping I can get this whole thing done during the duration of the game. Right now, Cleveland's up by 10. That's a great sign. It's always a great sign when they play good at home, because if they don't play good at home, they ain't gonna play good on the road. That's for sure. Oh, I got a comment. Let me see. Where do you work and do your drawings? I'm in my room right now. Are you Marwa uncle or dad? I'm not an uncle or a father, thank the Lord. Yeah, right now I'm in my room. I have my desk. It's on like the side, and have a view of my room, and then I have a view of the TV. That's why I like this spot for moments like this. All right, so I guess the most satisfying portion would be the bottom portion. It's also the most tedious, so we're gonna start with that. But guys, let me know who you guys want to win. If you're a Warriors fan, I'm assuming you want the Warriors to win, which is fine. I don't blame you. LBJ Prod, appreciate it. He said with it, it's gonna look super nice. What quarter is in the game? We're in the first quarter. All right. I don't know if the screen lagged there. I just got a phone call. I have a few classmates that are going through some turmoil. Because in case you guys don't know, talk about myself for a little bit while the game's just kind of warming up. I go to the Art Institute of Tampa. I'm studying graphic design. And some of you guys don't know what a graphic designer is, which is fine. If somebody were to ask me what a phlebotomist is, I probably wouldn't be able to tell them what it is, although I think it deals with blood or something like that. But essentially, the job of a graphic designer is to convey message um, through some kind of physical medium, whether it be print, digital, anything of the sort. I'm going to turn this off. There we go. But we need this guy. And we need this. Yeah, if you guys aren't watching the game, you should definitely watch the game. This is one of the more important games. Game 3 is always super important, especially when the Cavs are kind of down 0-2. And I'm sure everybody by now has seen the footage of LeBron James realizing after the end of regulation, game 1, that they still had a timeout, and he was just not happy whatsoever. Just physically distraught. He couldn't believe that they still had a timeout and that it was not called. And if you saw the end of the game too, he was calling for a timeout. I don't know if none of the refs saw him in time in order for them to call it, or if by that time regulation was over, so obviously you wouldn't be able to call a timeout. I don't know what the situation is in that part, but I do know that he looked like he wanted to cry. And you know what, LeBron, I wanted to cry for you too. Put in all this work, and then J.R. Smith just shacked in the fool. Like, that is the shacked in the fool play. If there was ever a shacked in the fool play, it would be that play. And it was only in like the most important game of your career up to this point, I would say. Because you win game 1, you have the series tied up 1-1. You come back here, probably win this game, then you're up 2-1. And against these Warriors, these all-time great Warriors, that'd be pretty impressive. I trust LeBron James into game 7, so if they win 3 home games, go to a game 7, good things can happen from there. I think Jared and the coach were on drugs. Hell yeah, bro. How long did that take you? How long did what take me? If you're asking how long this is going to take me, I can probably knock this out during the duration of the game. This bottom part is going to take the longest though, because again, just to kind of recap, you see how all these colors are not super defined? Like if we look at this blue section, obviously we can see where this blue section starts and ends, and then we have the black section. So it's really easy to go ahead and outline that. And we can outline the general shape of the air unit, but to go ahead and get these colors, it gets a little complicated. However, is Ray about to be kicked out? What? Foul trouble? Oh, just one moment. All right, and we back, and we back, and we back. I don't know what's going on with the game, but the Cavs are up by 8. And the fact that they're up is just a good sign. And again, for this bottom part, I could go super, super detailed. But you also have to, like, if you're ever doing stuff like this, you have to ask yourself, how detailed do you want to get? And is it worth your time to get that detailed? Because if you're doing, let's say, the bottom part of this shoe, right? If you were doing this alongside with me, and if you were to take a super, super long time working on the bottom, would it be worth it? Like, depending on how we're going to have this, if we print this out on like a regular sheet of paper, so 8.5 by 11, would the small details that we would have spent X amount of time on even be visible? Would anybody even notice it? So you got to kind of make those decisions, and you got to ask yourself, yes, you could put a lot of detail in it, but depending on what you're doing, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Because time is money. So if you're going to spend a lot of time working on a part of a shoe that nobody's ever going to notice, then it might be fulfilling for yourself as an artist, saying I did the best work that I could possibly do, but at the same time, you want to get better. Part of getting better is practice. Part of practice is being able to practice often. And I feel like a lot of people sometimes they'll kind of get hung up on trying to make something perfect as opposed to just getting it done. I feel like that was one of my bigger struggles when I first started out. Like it had to be, what the hell is going on over there? There we go. Like it had to be perfect, otherwise I didn't even want to touch a pencil. You know, like everything I did, and a lot of the stuff I did in the beginning was graffiti based, so a lot of like wordplay and stuff like that. And I would always have like the canisters, anything that has to do with that kind of style I incorporated. But I always had that like stress of this has to be the perfect illustration or the perfect whatever, otherwise it will all have been for nothing. All right, so actually we don't even have to go up that far. If we're just doing the outsole, let me just see. Right now I'm deliberating on how I want to go about this. Yeah, so I can go ahead and I can just cut it right through here, because this section up here can be another piece. I can just work on the bottom piece right now. And guys, remember, if at any point the audio is like weird, or if whatever's going on, by all means let me know. I'm using a Xbox headset, Xbox One headset, so not the best thing, but it does work. Although that's going to be another investment of mine that I definitely have to do. Ooh, so I was watching those like sports debate shows. I'm telling you, I love those shows. So like First Things First, First Take, all those shows. And in one of the shows, I forget which one it is. I think it was The Herd, so Colin Cowherd's shirt or whatever. He was talking about there is a possibility where if there is no good option that presents itself at the end of the season for a team to be assembled that he is on that could come up and match up with the Warriors, that he would just take a year off. Now, I don't know if that's a thing. Like, I don't know if he would even want to go ahead and do that, because we're talking about like an all-time great player potentially taking a year off. That would do his body some good. He would definitely rest, but at the same time, Jesus, like a year, like, I don't know, man. It's an interesting thought, though. It really is. Because I always love going in the hypotheticals. So let's just go in the hypotheticals real quick. LeBron James takes a year off. What does he do? He gets his body healthy, right? He's already healthy now, but like he really goes and stretches his body. Who has the worst attitude? I would say DeMarcus. Draymond knows what he's doing. DeMarcus sometimes he just gets upset. But yeah, so a year of LeBron James just kind of cooling it off, getting his body right, and not only taking care of his body, but training. Let's just say, hypothetically, he works on developing a good jump shot. Can you imagine LeBron James with like a good jumper? Like a not like a Kobe jumper, but yeah, like a Kobe jumper. I'm just saying that year off would be super beneficial. And it's also a power play. Like I can't think of too many other players who would even have anywhere near the possibility of being able to leave for a year and take a year off and then just come back when they want to. Most players don't get to determine their own destiny like that. That's a very rare thing. Whenever we talk about players doing this, it's like the upper echelon of elite players, like the LeBron James of the world, like the MJs of the world. You know, these guys are few and far apart. That's why I love the fact that I was born in a time when I can watch LeBron James play because he's really fun to watch. He's really good at his job, excellent at his job. How do you grow a YouTube channel? Ooh, I got some tips for this one. Okay, let me just go ahead and do this part, and I'm gonna get into some juicy tips. Uh, Again, for you guys who don't know, I'm using Adobe Illustrator. You could do digital illustrations with Photoshop as well. I'm not too much of a painter, so for me, it wouldn't be as easy. I prefer to do this style. It's also more fun this way. It's more satisfying. I get more enjoyment out of it, so that's why I do it. Now, the pieces I've done so far, so like this oval, this little thingy, this thing, those were defined by the image. So you kind of see how I'm just taking this section by section. I'm looking at what definitely is a shape, what's definitely a color, and just kind of building off of that. And even though these pieces in and of itself don't make any sense right next to each other, when you zoom out, it looks pretty damn good. Right now, we're right here. Not too impressive, but boy, give me an hour and this is gonna look good. I'm telling you. So, again, I'm kind of watching the game, 7 point game, 6 point game. I probably like really pay more attention to it like after halftime. The first half is just like a feeler out moment, I guess. At least for the elite teams. For some reason the stream kind of like stops for whatever reason. It's because my buddy keeps calling me. Again, turmoil. I'll go into that probably at some point during the stream. But to answer the gentleman's question earlier, how do you build a channel? I've thought about this a lot, especially over the past year or so, especially back when I was doing daily videos, which again, guys, I do want to get back to that, but I do have to kind of catch up with school though. So when I go on my little vacation, I do hope I can upload daily because I'll have hopefully plenty of free time to just crank out videos and get better at being an artist. But anyway, thought about this a lot. And it's really not that complicated, but the answer might not be the easiest. So, how to have a successful YouTube channel. First of all, you got to kind of look at it from the stream is kind of lagging out or just stopping. Let me know if it continues to do it from this point. Right now, my coworker is not, or my classmate's not calling me, so I don't think there should be too big of a problem, but yeah, let me know if there's still problems with it, and then I might have to like call him up, tell him to leave me alone for a bit, and then I'll call him back later, and hopefully that would stop any of the disruptances. Or maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll kind of find out. We'll make this work. Promise we'll make this work. But to continue what I was saying, when you think of YouTube, whenever you go on YouTube and you're looking at videos, it's entertainment in some way, shape, or form. Sometimes it's educational. So if you're doing a project on World War II and you want a quick recap, but you don't want to have to like read about it, you'd rather find a video where they do great illustrations and kind of explain it in layman's terms, but in a way that makes more sense to you, you can do that. If there's a certain YouTuber you like maybe me, for example, and you want to go catch their live streams, you can do that. It's all entertainment based. But the overarching idea is that whoever is uploading the content is providing value for whoever is receiving the content. So you, the viewer. If you're watching this, hopefully you find me entertaining, interesting, a good artist, or some other fourth reason. And that's the reason why you're watching, because you get value out of this. You get entertainment. This is worth watching to you. And whenever you make content, you have to produce content that would be a value to somebody. Now, like, if we want to be, is it a tight game? No, it's not, because the Cavs just hit a three. But yeah, they brought it back. They were up by 10, and now it's a tie game, basically. Funny how quick they do that. I'm telling you, man, the three ball is crazy. Anyway, so like a good example, because like some people might say, what about those videos of like, in particular, women, right, where it's not like they're doing anything. They're just kind of like what are those videos where like usually women's with that are very what's the polite way of putting this? They have a little extra on their chest, right? And they usually use that in the thumbnails to get clicks, right? And they upload videos, and they're pretty much reviewing other popular videos. So that's kind of how they get in that pool. And there's nothing special about their content except that they're attractive. Well, sometimes being attractive is all you need to go ahead and get people to watch your videos. Because at the end of the day, people have to choose to watch your content, okay? People have to choose to go and spend their time looking at whatever it is you have. So you have to make sure that you're offering something that is something that they would be of interest to. So if they find you entertaining, that's reason enough. They find you entertaining. They would choose to watch your content. Now, that's the first part. And that's the main part you got to understand. It's not just uploading videos. You can't just upload a video of like a blue background for like 10 minutes and have like copyrighted music and expect great things to happen, all right? That's not a thing. You got to have content that's original. Why does it have to be original? Well, you can do gaming content, but if you're not doing gaming content that's different or that's new, then you're just doing gaming content that's been done. And with the market like that, where it is super, super saturated, you're never going to get found because nobody's ever going to be able to find out about you because there's 20 million, not million, but there's a lot of other people who are doing the same thing you're trying to do. So it makes it hard to get you discovered. So not only do you have to make videos that are entertaining, right? And it doesn't have to be entertaining for everybody. You can try to hit a certain demographic, like me. I'm appealing to people who like sneakers and who like art. And there's like some portion out there who like me that just think I'm funny, and that's great. That's awesome. But for the most part, it's people who like sneakers and who like art. And I was able to kind of take those two demographics, smush them together, and then voila, we have Kickstart. So if I didn't do this, if I was going to go a different route, I would have to look at another avenue that utilized my talents in some way or some skill set that I have that allows me to make content that people would want to watch. And even though it's as simple as that, the hard part is actually doing it because it's not going to be fulfilling or satisfying if you make content that you yourself, you don't want to make, that you don't enjoy producing, right? Because then you're working. And I think a lot of the glamour and appeal of making YouTube videos from people who don't make YouTube videos is that it's easy, is that it's fun. Well, it's only easy and fun if you're doing it with stuff that you like, you know, if you're doing it with your interests. So that's where the sweet spot is. And that's hard for some people, you know. For me, I love sneakers. I'm pretty good at art. So I kind of put those together. And I also love basketball. So that's why, especially lately, I've been talking a lot about basketball. Because if, you know, I had one day left on this earth, basketball would be in there somewhere in that day. So I'm like, you know what, if I love basketball this much, do you have any pets? Yeah, I have a dog, a Labradoodle. His name is Spike. I named him Spike, and like that was when I was young, so I thought that was a cool name, not knowing that was like the most basic, generic dog name that you could possibly give a dog. Yet I have never met another dog named Spike in my life, which is weird. I don't know how that happens. But yeah, so if you're trying to make a YouTube channel, you got to think about what could you make that's entertaining, that people would want to watch, that you would want to make. I think I said that twice. You creating in your own shoe? I have. I've had drawn my own shoe templates, and again, just kind of show you guys where we're at. Again, nothing too special going on right now, but it's gonna look good. I'm telling you guys, it's gonna look good. Let's go ahead. Let's just stay on this back area, just to kind of get this part done. And again, we can get as detailed as we want. We can go and we can get all these colors separated and make everything look nice and clean. But that would take a lot of time. And that wouldn't be worth it because we don't need all those colors to get the same feel because we're trying to replicate an air unit. And when you think of what an air unit is, it's not like the easiest thing in the world to, can I do this? Yeah. It's not the easiest thing to do. Like if you were to draw this, if I were to draw this, I would have a hard time. I wouldn't have fun drawing this because this would be difficult to draw. And I did a video of not this particular shoe, but another shoe that has had the same outsole as this. And it's hard, man. I don't have those skills yet. I'm working on it, but I don't have them yet. So for the purposes of recreating this shoe, this would be the most satisfying method to do it for me. And it comes out pretty clean too. So when creating a shoe, how do you get inspiration or ideas? So inspiration or ideas in general, just in general. What's up, Bright Snipes? Like if you think about it, there are no, this should have a Black Panda, you are the real MVP. That's all I have to say. You're just the real MVP. Appreciate the comment. People have always gotten inspiration from something. There's a saying that there's no such thing as new ideas, which is partially true, but that would be a video in and of itself. But naturally, people get inspiration for anything. Whenever I go and I try to create something, or if I try to do something new or different, I immediately get inspiration from things that are similar or things that I can pull from that would inspire me to do a thing. So let's just say you were going to do a shoe. I'd pull pictures of shoes you like, because why are you going to start with looking at examples of shoes you don't like, right? You're not going to look at pictures of shoes that you hate. That's not inspiring. At least I don't think so. So you're going to look at pictures of shoes you think are dope. You're going to look at some 11s, some bronze, some whatever. And then from there, you kind of think, okay, why do I like these shoes? What makes them good? These lines, they're working together, but what about these lines look good? Is it the colorway? Is it the colorway that looks good? Maybe the shoe doesn't look good. Maybe I just love that colorway. You know, you kind of ask yourself these things. Maybe I like shoes that have the thicker bottoms, you know? Maybe I like shoes that have air units only. Maybe I like shoes that have straps. You know, there's a lot of different reasons. And you think, man, you know, what about if the 11s just had this on them? How would that look? And you just kind of draw that out. You're like, wow, that doesn't look good, but what if we change this? And then we tweak this. Then what if we did this? And then after half an hour of just drawing, suddenly, out of thin air, something new, quote unquote new, arises. Something different. Something that you had no idea was in your head, but over the course of however long it took, you created this thing. And now it's yours because you've tweaked on this. You worked on this drawing of whatever it is, and you made it your own. And you know what? It looks pretty good. And if you took that same amount of time and you tweaked it even more, you can make it even better. Or, and this is where the magic comes, you can make something that's completely different that you actually love way better than your original quote unquote good idea that you didn't think you can do, period. And then that's where the secret sauce is, because then you start playing with that and then you realize, you know, it's just not about trying to create the best thing, but just trying to work on what you know, and you'd be surprised at what you can do. I started watching you. Oh man, I appreciate the love, Black Panda. Black Panda. Are you okay with the Kyrie trade? So again, I was watching the debate shows this morning, and they were talking about how when that Kyrie trade was in the works, LeBron was saying to the owner, or yeah, I was believe the owner, he was saying to him, "Hey, whatever you do, don't trade Kyrie. Like, whatever beef we have, we can fix it. Just please don't trade him." Because he knew, I need this man. This man played his heart out when we won that championship against what seemed to be an undefeatable team. If you guys were watching that season, you can probably remember all the statistics that came up where it's like, if the Warriors do this, the likelihood of them winning the championship is this. And they hit all the records. If there was a record, they hit it. And it was amazing. And man, the year when the Cavs pulled it off, it was like unbelievable. And it took LeBron being LeBron James, and it took Kyrie Irving playing out of his mind and just ripping the hearts out of the Warriors. So LeBron knows this. He knows that in order for his team to have success, it definitely benefits them to have Kyrie Irving. Like, absolutely 100% no doubt. And I guess when he heard the news that Kyrie Irving was traded, because think about it, if you're the Cavs, you know LeBron is probably not going to stay. And if he's going to stay, why hasn't he told you? You know? Like, your whole organization rests in the fate of one man. And this one man, whether right or wrong, is choosing not to tell you what he wants to do. And rightfully so, he doesn't know what he wants to do. But does that mean you're supposed to wait for him to make a decision and kind of put your franchise in the balance? Because what happens if he leaves and you do everything that you can to keep him to stay, and the decisions you've made will put you in a bad spot when he leaves? What are you going to do then? Because you still have to sell tickets. You still have to convince the people of Cleveland, Ohio to come watch your games. If LeBron leaves, what is the Cavs' future? That's the thing. Like, and again, my NBA history doesn't go back too deep, but I don't think there's ever been a player who has had this much power over not only just the league, but like their particular franchise the way this man has. And, rightfully so, he deserves it. But at the same time, it absolutely puts the Cavs in an awkward spot, because if they don't take care of themselves, this man will leave and they will be forced to tank. And not only will they be forced to tank, they'll be forced to play these bad players a lot of money, and he helped them get a lot of money. Like Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith, they're getting money. They're absolutely getting money. And who helped them get that money? LeBron James. Rightfully so. Good for LeBron. But are they worth this money if LeBron isn't on the team? No. So it's a tricky situation. And again, yeah, it sucks for the Cavs, but we're talking about LeBron James. I don't care what you got to do. You cannot be the team that lets him go away twice without trying to do everything in your power to keep him. Because even though this guy might be the biggest pain in the you-know-what that there's ever been, what he can do for your franchise is something that no other player you will ever get will do for your franchise. And that is be a walking god on that court. And that's facts. Also, none of this would be a problem if, the general manager didn't write that disgusting letter to LeBron after he first left, which almost made it impossible for him to come back. Luckily, he was able to put his grudges aside and look beyond that. But, dude, talk about getting in your feelings. That's like when you break up with your girl and then she's on Snapchat saying that you weren't even shit and all this other stuff. And the moment, she sees that you're okay without her, she's like, "Hey, how you doing? We haven't talked in a minute. Is everything going good with you? I see you're going to school." Even though, you guys, just broke up last week, so obviously you're still in school, right? But, I don't know, man. The Cavs is such an interesting story. I can't wait to see how it plays out. This offseason is going to be crazy. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction right now. You and your crush just started dating? That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Oh, and you see, I'm about to get into the sports and stuff. I'm making this prediction right now. I would not be surprised at all if he went to Philadelphia. What did I just do? Mm, what? Okay. Yeah, so we'll just do this. I'm telling you, man, Philly. I trust the process. Like, I don't think it's okay what Philadelphia did, which is basically allow their franchise to tank for years on end while taking the hard-earned money of the fans, of the people who live in that city, and pretty much didn't put up any sort of effort to actually win. But in doing so, that allowed them to get really high draft picks. And even though they kind of botched like two of those high draft picks because they drafted Nerlens Noel and Jahlil Okafor, right? And neither of those two are on the team. So those are kind of a waste. But through all that mud, they got Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. And those two boys look serious. Although I'm worried for Simmons. He's dating a Kardashian. I don't know how that's going to work. We don't trust these Kardashians. And yeah, she's pretty, but you know what else is pretty? Having rings on your fingers. Not of a woman, but of a legacy. And you're not going to get that if you did Kardashian. That's facts. Somebody quote that for me, please. I don't even know which one he's dating. As a Kendall, I think. Yo, if LeBron leaves the Cavs, does Tyronn Lue even want to be there? That's the real question we have to ask ourselves. Like, would he really want to be there if LeBron's not there? Do you know how difficult his job would be if LeBron wasn't there? He'd actually have to coach his team. I don't want the stress of that. Because it's not like these players don't hear what's going on in the media. They know this is LeBron's team. Braun hurt his ankle. I don't know. I just seen him catch the ball. Make an open pass. They're up by 5. Again, good sign so far. Good sign. I'm liking this. Did J.R. Smith just do a thing? Good for you, J.R. Further, I don't know what he was doing. Like, just would he just like drink a whole thing full of Hennessy during halftime? Like, I literally don't understand the mindset of a person who did what he did. It's honestly the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm happy I watched it though. That was great to see. Because if you would have told me that's how the game would have ended, I'd be like, okay, I don't believe you. And then sure enough, he does the thing. And it's like, okay, well, geez, JR. That's JR. I will say this, though. It isn't all JR's fault. Because, like, realistically, George Hill should have made the free throw. You got to make your free throws, right? That's just part of the game. You got to make your free throws. Because if he makes a free throw, then nobody's talking about JR because JR wouldn't have the opportunity to goof. And then if you want to be super technical, then the refs also screw them over. There's a lot of things. But that's like what JR did is something like anybody who knows anything about basketball would not do what JR did. That's the problem in and of itself. Anybody who knows anything at all about the sport of basketball, if they were put in that same exact position, hell, coach, put me out there. I can run a 10-day because I can do what JR did. Like, you know what I mean? I can do that. Tell you what, I can do better than that. I would have actually, tried to have shot the ball. Because where he was at, like, if he would have went back up with the ball, I don't believe KD would have been close enough to stop him. And then, KD would have been roasted for a terrible defensive play. But that's not what happened. Instead, we had LeBron look distraught. Who is the biggest bust of all time? Adobe Illustrator expensive? Okay, so I have the Creative Suite. And for me, because I'm a student, it's $40 a month. And I get all the Adobe software pieces. So like Photoshop, InDesign, Lightroom, Dreamweaver, all of that. I get them all for $40 a month. Now, you might be thinking, that's not a bad deal. You get all these pieces of software for 40 months a month. Well, the problem is the way they have this set up is that I can't own the pieces, right? I can't own the software. So that's where they get you. So they're always going to get that $40 a month from me because I'm always going to have Illustrator. So great business model by them. But I think you can get one piece of software for $10 a month. So if you were only looking to use one piece of software and you didn't want to like spend too much money, and if you had like a parent's credit card or whatever, obviously you don't want to like, input their credit card information, ask them, right? Don't tell them that Kickstarter told you to do this. But it's only $10 a month for one piece of software, I believe, which isn't too bad because, like, let's just say you make a poster every month and you sell it for $20 to like one of your friends. You paid basically for the software right there, and that didn't come out good. And in high school, I think I might have already talked about this too. I took an elective is called graphic arts. Why does it do that? You see, sometimes using the knife tool doesn't work because there's like a little, it's almost like there's a little resistance with it. Like you saw how it kind of like twisted and turned. It's really useful most of the time, and this time, not so much. But for the most part, it's pretty helpful. So we're gonna do this. Who's the biggest bust of all time? So the bust conversation is difficult because I don't know if we're including the people who have been injured. Personally, if somebody's injured and they had a lot of injuries, I don't consider them a bust. It's just unfortunate that their body kind of doomed them from not being able to be healthy, which is what makes LeBron so great, again, because he's been super healthy. But in terms of people who have had the chance to showcase their excellence and injury wasn't a huge big thing, I'd probably say Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown is definitely a name that will go down as like not a very exciting or good NBA player. Like Brian Scalabrine gets memed for being a bad NBA player, but Kwame is a bad NBA player, So funny. Poor Kwame. Again, it's not like I know how to play basketball that well. I'm okay. When that jumper starts going, they know that I'm lethal. But if not for that, then I'm okay. I'm really not that athletic. I'm trying to run more. Do you think Lonzo's going to... I think Lonzo, by the way, I think Lonzo had a great season. Brian Scalabrine is a goat. He's so funny. White Mamba. I love that man. No, but Lonzo Ball had a good season. People forget that. Sucks he got some injuries, so that will, of course, kind of derail your progress. But he's doing good. I think the Lakers got a good point guard in him. I don't think he's as good as his father thinks he is, which is not like a shocker. His father thinks he's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. But he's a good player. I don't know how LaMelo is going to do. I don't even know if he's going to get into the league. He's probably not going to get into the league. And not because of his skill or lack thereof. I think a big reason why he's not going to get in the league is because, or out of spite of his father, personally. That's what I think. And if you want my thoughts on LeVar Ball, I have no problem with him. I think he says a lot of dumb things. But our president also says a lot of dumb things. So, like, where's the bar set nowadays, That's facts, too. Hell, I say a lot of dumb things. And you see I'm just kind of going through, giving it some color. This bottom part is by far the hardest part and the most annoying part. But when it's done, it looks so good. I'm telling you right now. Oh, real quick, because I was talking about this. I don't want to forget this idea. Back when the Cavs were up 10, what is going on with this game? They're up by 12. I love this. No, it's very important. They need to win this game. They need to win this game and the next home game and then the third home game and then game 7. I'm telling you guys, if they win this series, this GOAT conversation's looking real good. I don't like that color. Yeah, I don't like that color either. Yeah, that'll work. Nah, but in high school I had graphic arts elective, which is basically a class where it taught us a lot of the basics on Photoshop and Illustrator. So basically a precursor to what I'm doing now. And in the class, we worked with vinyl. Uh, if you've ever seen like vinyl stickers on a car, right, like decals, that's basically what vinyl is. We had machines that we could make designs in the computer, and if we had the corresponding colors, we could make vinyl stickers. So vinyl is obviously expensive, so we didn't have a lot of colors, but we probably had a good 10 to 15 different colors. So we had a lot to work with. If I wanted to make logos, because we had a lot of like the basic colors, I could make a lot of logos because we had a lot of the basic colors. So white, black, blue, red, gray, all that stuff. And on numerous occasions, because when you have the ability to do that, and people see that you can do cool stuff, people start asking you for requests. Hey, can you vectorize my face? I'll pay you. And once that starts happening, that's when the magic happens. Because now you can take your talent and you can use that to make yourself money. Everybody likes money. I don't know what the age group is of the people who is watching this right now. I'm pretty sure most of you guys are young. And I know for a fact when I was young, I liked making money. I didn't have a job until I was like 18. So if I got any little bit of money, it was a great feeling. Especially knowing that I got it for myself. I didn't have to wait for like a birthday. So I started to notice that I could make money that way. And it wasn't a lot of money, but shoot, compared to getting no money, it definitely mattered. And that's kind of where I got my start with being a freelancer, I guess. If you guys want to know what a freelancer is, freelancer can apply to a lot of different career paths. It's very common in the arts field. When you were in school, were you known as the art kid? I was, because I was always drawing in some capacity. Although in school, whenever I had drawings, I would almost always throw them away afterward. Do you have any advice for YouTube? Yes, I do. Let me know what in particular, though, so that way I have something to go off of. Yeah, I was always drawing, doing a lot of graffiti. I never kept any of my stuff, though, not from high school. Again, back then I was very perfectionist mindset, so if it wasn't the best thing I ever did in my life, it was in the trash. It would almost never go in the trash because people would, like, ask for it because they didn't want it thrown away because they thought it was cool. Making your channel grow. Well, first of all, and I kind of talked about this earlier, you have to have a direction with your channel. You can't just post random videos, because who's going to want to see random videos besides like your friends who like you? If you have a good personality, that's different. If you're like really good at editing, that's different. But if you're just making random videos, it's not helpful to the viewer because they don't have something to go off of. If somebody wants to see sneaker drawing videos, my channel is a perfect place to go because that's basically all I do. Right? There's direction there, there's clarity. It makes it easier for the viewer to know what they're getting into, so that way they can make a good decision if they want to stay or not. So helping the viewer with that part is the big first step. Making sure that your channel has a clear theme and that it's accomplishing something. So like some channels, a lot of channels actually, is just like a slice of life. So they're vlogging, they're kind of going about their life, because some people have, ew, that looks terrible. We're gonna keep it simple. Yeah, because we can, right? This is our art. We can do what we want. We don't have to conform to these lines. We make our own lines. Nah, but your channel has to have some direction. Because, okay, perfect example. Perfect example. If you went to a restaurant, right? You went to a restaurant and they gave you a menu. And like this menu was like a book. Like you're flipping through all these pages and you're like, can I just have a sweet tea? They're like, yeah, page 37. We have 14 different kinds of sweet teas. You'd be like, dude, what the heck? I just want sweet tea. You know, it's a lot. So if you have a channel, if you make it concise and you have a specific theme going, it makes it a lot easier for people to want to like decide to stay. because the people who stay are the people who are probably going to stay with you. And it's better to appeal to like a specific demographic than try to appeal to everybody and not really keep anybody. It also helps to be consistent. Consistency is very, very important. That's where my channel kind of fell off, and that's my fault. Vlogs and gaming. Here's the problem, my friend. Those are the two most like congested markets or types of videos on the platform. Which means it's not that you can't make video. It's not that you can't make gaming videos. It's not that you can't make vlogging videos. But what makes your gaming videos and/or vlogs better or different enough that somebody would want to see your content over somebody else's? And you might be thinking, well, crap, I might not have much. I don't really know how to edit, and I'm not really that funny yet because I'm not too comfortable in front of the camera. That's a part of it too, right? You have to be comfortable talking to people. Working in jobs, a lot of retail jobs, has naturally led me to be comfortable to talk to people. And I like talking anyway, so naturally this is fine for me. But some people, they can't do this. They can't get in front of a camera. They can't talk. It's nerve-wracking, What if they say something that somebody doesn't agree with? What if they don't know what to say? What if they stop? What if they stutter? What if they repeat themselves, And these are valid fears. These are all 100% valid. But, that's what kind of separates the people who want to do this and the people who can do this. And that's no offense to anybody. I can't run 10 miles. That doesn't mean that I won't be able to one day. Just right now I can't. It's hard. I did 3 miles today, 3.5. I'm pretty much at 3.5 miles every day now. Slowly getting faster. Ideally, I want to get to the point where I can run like 5Ks on a regular basis. That's going to be a while, but if it's not for the journey, then is the reward anything at all? Somebody's got to write down all my quotes. I'm a quote machine. Don't get me started. When I get these quotes going, shoot. I'm telling you guys. All right, let me see how the game's going. 10-point lead, still almost going into the half. Again, it's very, very good that they're playing well at home, because if they don't play well at home, are they going to play well away? Probably not. So it's super, super important that they do well at home. So now we got this part. And again, just kind of saying, okay, maybe we can like cut this up, right? And then we can kind of say, okay, this is maybe going to go like that. Does that even make sense? Yeah, it does. We could we cut this up, right? Kind of slice that. And then boom, we have a little triangle piece over here. Mostly gray. We're going to pick a gray. That looks fine. We have these pieces right over here. I want to make this one mostly white. That's perfectly fine with me. We got this top part. Let me fill this in right quick. By the way, real quick so I know, we got 5 people watching. I'm just curious, how old are you guys? I need to know. I cut loose from YouTube for basketball season and wouldn't drive UIs. It happened. Bro, I have almost 23,000 subscribers and there's only 5 people watching right now. When you're not consistent, it affects your channel, man. People will forget about you. People will forget about you. But just because, you fall down one day doesn't mean you can't be picked back up. Turn 13 next month. Nice, bro. I turned 24 this month. 24 this month. I'm an old man playing a young man's game. No, I'm not. There we go. Live in Florida. Turning 16 today. What? And you're watching my video on your birthday? That's what's up. 14, dope. Wait, so more interesting question. What do you guys like to do? Because obviously you like watching me do art stuff. What stuff do you guys like to do? You guys like to draw? You guys like to dance, like to sing, like to rap? And I feel a cough coming. I know it's coming. Now that I mentioned it, it's probably not going to come. Oh, here it comes. Still trying to get over the sickness. Like designing different ways of shoes. I like playing basketball and drawing. Basketball's so much fun. I like to draw. Sweet. Well, I would imagine everybody here likes to draw. That'd be the safe bet, right? All right, cool. So we have this. Okay, wait. So if everybody here pretty much likes to draw in some capacity, I guess this is my chance to give younger versions of me tips on drawing. I feel like my voice is going away. I gotta get some water real quick. 1 second. So, got some water in my system, so now I'm not dying. Somebody just said, I like learning. Oh, I love learning, man. Love learning. I used to hate history. Now I can't get enough of it. I was watching some World War II documentaries. Not like I like watching, mass destruction of people and genocide and stuff, but it's fascinating when you think about how it all went down. And I'm not going to get into that too much because more important things to talk about. But like, I wasn't interested in that back in school. I could care less. But now it's like, dude, how did we even go about doing that? Hitler's so crazy. How was he able to do all that? Crazy stuff. Point is, learning, it's not the same for everybody. Everybody learns differently. Everybody has different interests. Oh my god, I got to cough again. I better not die during this live stream. I got a project due tomorrow. Can't die. All right, but somebody was just saying that they like to draw and they would like to be a shoe designer for an athlete. Can you get some drawing advice? Yeah, I hope I don't die too. I have water, so hopefully the water will keep me alive. But the guy who said that he wants to be a designer for an athlete, hypothetically, let's say you do become a designer, right? A footwear designer, and you don't get to design for an athlete. But let's say you get to design for something else. Would it be like a general release? And hypothetically, let's just say that the experience that you got designing for something else turns out to be an amazing experience where you get to create a lot more stuff. Let's just say, because of the brand you're working with and stuff, that you get to become the lead production artist. God, these coughs. And you get to make all the big decisions on how the shoe looks, all this other stuff. Because it's one thing to want to do something, but you'd be surprised how many opportunities come from things that you don't expect. Perfect example. Well, not example, but perfect segue. So Kobe Bryant, when he got his jerseys retired, I believe both of them, right? Yeah. And real quick, you see how this is kind of looking? I'm going to turn off the layer that we did. You see how that's looking? Crazy. But Kobe Bryant, I'm paraphrasing here, but his dream, right? His dream was to become a Los Angeles Laker. He wanted to play for the Lakers. Ultimately, what he got was way, way beyond that. And he said something during the speech where it's like, don't follow your dreams because what you can achieve is much more. And he pointed at his jerseys, not one, multiple jerseys in the Raptors, forever being immortalized as one of the all-time greats. All he wanted was to play for the Lakers. That's completely different than being arguably the greatest Laker of all time. Right? Do you see how those two things are different? You might want one thing, but your actual potential can take you so much farther. So it's always good to have goals, interests, because that's definitely a good start, but you'd be surprised. Always keep your mind open to new possibilities because you never know what's going to happen. And sometimes the greatest things that you'll never imagine come out of thin air when you least expect it. What? 'Cause somebody else asked earlier, what did I want to do in school? Back in school, I wanted to be a footwear designer for a little bit, and then towards, I guess towards the end of senior year, um, I was still good at drawing, still had artistic ability, but somehow my sister talked me into going into the nursing field as opposed to the graphic design field. And part of that was because it was also a lot cheaper. But I guess the consensus back then was if I go into nursing, it's a safer field to get into to guarantee a good paying job than being a graphic artist. And I would disagree with that 100% now, but that's because I know a lot more now than I did back then, of course. So this is no offense to my sister who gave me the advice. But after high school, I went to a community college and I did that for about a year and a half. And this was with the intention of getting my prerequisites necessary to get into the program that would allow me to become a nurse. And thank my lucky stars that did not happen because, like, I could be a nurse. When I say I could be a nurse, meaning I don't mind blood. I think I work well with patients of all kinds, you know, not just the people who are nice, but the people who are crabby and they don't want to deal with me or whatever. I think I work fine with anybody. I think, personally, the way I am, I could do almost any job. But there's only a few jobs I could have that would really bring me happiness. What do I mean by that? I had a job where I worked at Michael's. Michael's is like an art supply store, a big art supply store chain. And I worked for them as a stalker, like an early morning stalker. So I was getting the product, putting it out on the shelves. If you ever go to Michael's, they usually have a lot of stuff in the middle of the aisles set up with like items on the shelves. We would make those setups, and we would, because that was kind of unexpected. I forgot what you said before. Oh, okay, I got what you were saying. I got what you were saying. Just gotta speak into Zixons. No, I hear you, Black Panda. I forgot what I was saying. So yeah, shoot, I forgot what I was saying. Just going to nursing. I don't know, I forgot what I was saying. I was going to nursing, and then I did that for about a year and a half. I got my associate's degree. There we go, that's where I was going. I got my associate's degree, but I was still taking a lot of nursing classes, and somewhere towards the year and a half mark after I graduated, I'm still taking these nursing classes, and I don't know what happened, but something clicked where it's like, bro, you don't want to do this. This is not going to be fun. You don't even like this. That was the one that really stuck with me when I told myself I don't even like this because I knew it was true. And it's like, dude, if I don't like this, why would I even want to like waste my time trying to go for this if this is not going to make me happy? Because when you think about it, when you get out of high school and you're going to college and you're going to study something to be a professional in that career, you could get a different degree, but that's a lot of time wasted. The stress of knowing what you want to do after high school is serious because if you know what you want to do after high school and you go for it, that is the biggest like saving thing you can do for yourself, period. Because a lot of people will go into college thinking they want to do something and then they end up not doing it. Or they go into college and they find out that what they want to do is not feasible. There's a lot of degrees out there that people can't like get jobs for in their fields. And I'm sure you guys heard this, like, you know, there's a lot of students who spend a lot of money and they just can't get a job because like their field is so compact and you know, you're getting your degree and you just got right out of college, but you still need 5 years of experience and there's no way you can do it and, you know, so on and so forth. Thankfully, the degree I have, graphic design is always needed. So that's never going to go away. And with what I'm doing, there is a lot of opportunity for freelance work, which means if I say to myself one day, you know what, I want to make a really good looking poster and I want to sell it, and make extra money that way, I can, because I'll know how to do that. And it's not that complicated. I can make the design for the poster because I have Illustrator, right? I can think of something that looks good and I can make it. I can recreate the poster. I can print them out. I can ship them. And then I can receive money in some way, like through a website. And that's it. That's all it basically is. And I know how to do those things. So why couldn't I do that for myself? And that's basically what freelance is. So with freelance and with obviously having a career as a graphic designer, I should, in theory, always be okay in terms of having money or some stable income. And that's what I didn't know in the beginning when I originally went into nursing, because I was under the impression that nursing was a smarter field to get into because people are always getting sick. They're always going to need nurses. And if I did that, it would be a safer thing for me to do to guarantee that I'll have a good future, which is true, except the most important part of that is that I did not like that. It was not a field that was going to make me feel good. I would go to work wanting to leave the moment I came in. And that is a death trap. That is not where you want to be. You want to be working in a place where it's like, dude, this doesn't even feel like work. I enjoy this. You know? That's the sweet spot. And I believe with graphic design, at the very least, I can achieve that. If not, I can have fun with it. Like, look what I'm doing right now. I am drawing, or I'm doing a digital illustration of a sneaker that I'm live streaming, that people are watching, that people will watch after it's uploaded for fun. Basically, I don't have to do this. I probably should because it's my channel and I have to make sure videos get uploaded. But nobody's telling me I have to do this, you know? I'm just choosing to do this off my own accord because I can. And that's just one example of the beauty of freelance, is figuring out what talents do I have, how can I use it, and how can I make money off of it. So the people that are watching, they probably all like to draw. You know how many people don't know how to draw or are terrible at drawing? I'm sure each one of you has experienced this where it's like, oh my God, you're so good at drawing, and you think your drawing sucks. Well, that person who told you you're good at drawing thinks you're good at drawing. And if you think your drawing sucks, can you imagine what their drawings look like? Okay? It's crazy. It's really crazy, but it's real. So if people think your work is good, there's a good chance they'll be willing to pay you for it. Not everybody will, but you don't worry about the people who aren't willing to pay for your services. You're worried about the people who are. That's where the money is. That's literally where their money is. And this might not happen for you in middle school, but when you get into high school, especially if you can get into a high school that has a graphic arts program where they have the Adobe Suite software and they have Max and they have the ability to do printing on shirts and make vinyl stickers, I was blessed to go to a school that had the capabilities. And I mean, that started all of this basically. You do how to draw Gucci / step by step. There's a lot of shoes I would love to get into step-by-step videos. At the moment, the way my phone is set up, the way my laptop is, exporting those kind of videos for whatever reason just doesn't happen. My computer can't compute it, and it freezes every time I try to upload and render a video that I did with my phone. I don't know why, it just does. It's super annoying, trust me, I get it. But when I'm able to, I definitely will go back to doing the how to draws because I know you guys like them. They're super helpful, I would think. And it also gives you guys stencils. Warriors or Cavs? Cavs, bro, hopefully. Probably going to be the Warriors, but I just think it would be awesome if the Cavs won. Because can you imagine what that would do? That would cement LeBron James' legacy as one of the greatest players of all time. And the reason why that's important is because we can see this happen. We can see this process take place. If we were in the 90s and I was live streaming in the 90s, we would be talking about Jordan. You know, you see how this is coming together? Look at this. Look at this, mate. Oh, and then LBJ Prob, you were commenting something earlier. Favorite movie? Ooh, okay. Uh, just real quick, I'll answer that favorite movie. What you were saying earlier, your channel's falling apart, bro. I think you're like, what you said, you were like 14 years old. Keep at it, man. Keep at it. Just keep trying to do better every day. I'm 24. Like, if you didn't do anything with your channel and you waited another 10 years and you started making YouTube videos again, you would still be fine. Like, I'm telling you, man. Oh, you're 10? Okay. Make my point then. Even better, you're 10. You know how many 10-year-olds are not making YouTube videos? A lot of them. I wasn't making YouTube videos at 10. When we start updating your website, hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Happy you brought that up because I have to do that. But before I forget, because I get sidetracked all the time, somebody asked my favorite movie. First of all, if you don't already know, I love movies. Like, I keep my movie ticket stubs for the movies that I go see at the theater, and I almost always go to like opening night movie premieres for movies. So Infinity War, I saw that opening night. Not on Friday when it supposedly came out. I saw it like Thursday night. Like, I'm that serious about my movies, especially superhero movies. I love them. So, that being said, obviously I'm going to be biased, but my favorite movie is probably it's a toss up. It's between Avatar, not the Last Airbender, not the movie from the show. That was a terrible movie. Um, Avatar with the blue people. I thought that was a great movie. But the one movie that literally left my like jaw open when I first saw it was Life of Pi. If you've never seen Life of Pi, well, the people who are watching this video are kind of young. Um, Life of Pi is a movie about a boy who is basically stuck out in the ocean, and he's pretty much forced to be out in the ocean with a lion, or is it no, a tiger? Sorry, a tiger. Um, you might be thinking, "Oh my God, wow, that's so crazy," but no, it is because like the way they go about directing the movie, the things that happen in the movie, is to me one of the craziest movies I've ever seen. I have not watched Castaway, although I'm assuming that's a good movie because you recommended it, so I'm interested. I have an older sister, by the way, to whoever asked about my siblings. And if you're wondering how much older, I have a niece. My sister is 7 years older than me, and she's already married and stuff. So they had a kid about a year, maybe like a little less than a year ago. So I'm an uncle. So I'm definitely an old man. I'm telling you guys, I'm old. You don't believe me, but I am. At least I feel old. I don't know. She's so cute though. Like, most people say that their baby is cute or whatever, and most of the time I agree with them just to like get them to shut up about their babies. But I'm telling you, she's a cute baby. She's always got like a sassy look on her face, like an attitude. And the reason why I say I'm old, obviously I'm not old. And he's stranded on an island by himself after a plane crash. And is, ooh, that sounds interesting. Might have to look at that. Um, the reason why I say I'm old. So when I was 10 years old, no, when I was 12, how old was I when I started? No, when I was 10 years old, I watched my first YouTube video. I can't put music on. I can't. The only reason is because I don't want to get. Well, actually, I can. Because if I play music that's not. Uh, oh my God, is it going to open in iTunes? Oh my God. just takes forever. Let me know if that's too loud. Maybe that's going to make the experience better. Let me know if you guys want the music, yes or no. I'm not against it. I can still talk to you guys fine. But if it's loud, you got to let me know. So that way I can adjust that. JaVale McGee's hair is very weird. I don't know what he's doing. His hair is something else. I guess when you're a champion, you can do whatever you want with your hair, right? For real, like, he really shouldn't be a champion. You can't hear the music. Well, I guess that'd be a problem too, then, wouldn't it? I appreciate it, Deej. But yeah, when I was 10 years old, I saw my first YouTube video. That was like in 2006. You're only one. You're the most intelligent 1-year-old ever commenting on a live stream. Just playing. 11. Again, like when I was your guys' age, that's when I saw my first YouTube video. Back in high school, I remember I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, especially in 9th grade. That's when Call of Duty really started to blow up, and it started to get really popular in Modern Warfare 2. That's when COD commentaries got really popular. I don't think you guys even know what that is, but like the idea of watching somebody have footage uploaded of them playing video games, and they're pretty good, right? So it's entertaining footage, and they're talking over it, was amazing. It was like, oh my god, this is the most entertaining thing, especially for like a high school kid where I just wanted to play video games, and now I'm watching guys play video games and they're good and they're talking about it. Blew my mind. I watched countless hours of COD commentary footage, and that's what got me started. It's lagging a bit. It's lagging bad. I think without the music, it might help, so that way not so much information is having to be absorbed, because I think that might affect the audio. If you guys are needing a music, it might be best if you just like play your own music, because I don't want to get any copyright trouble, and also the audio might not come out crisp, so it might even be worth it. Let's see, I need to do this. But if it is still lagging, let me know. I'm not sure what I can do if it continues to lag. I can try to reconnect to my Wi-Fi, even though that was the reason why it wasn't working earlier. It could work now. It's a possibility. We can try it out. Let's do... we're going to cut this up like this, because we can. And then we can cut this. We can cut this. Sweet. Happy the audio is good now. We can cut this. We can cut this. Let's just see what we got with that. By the way, when you guys are watching this, do you like feel the sense of satisfaction seeing this slowly turn into something? Because that first 5 minutes we were working on it, it looked like nothing, because it wasn't really anything. And then slowly, this thing just started to like appear, and then it started to look good. It looks like my battery's starting to run low. What that will mean then, not that I can't record, but that I'm going to have my phone connected to my laptop. And because of that, I'm not going to have my headphones in. I can still talk. We're going to have to, or you guys are going to have to let me know how the audio goes through on that. But yeah, all that means is that my headphones are going to be off, so the audio might not be as crisp. That's all it means. Alright, so we're going to cut this part up because we can. Warriors up again. Well, it's a 1-point game. Cavs are up, but it is close. Making me nervous, Cavaliers. Making me nervous. I need them to win. Because here's the thing. If they if they lose, this series is over. No team has ever came back from being down 3. What's up, Chase Art? That's good, mate. No team has ever came back down 0-3. So that's already stressful. This is a Nike Vapormax. I don't know what the name of the colorway is. And if you're curious as to where we are, working on the outsole so far. So we have all these parts done. It's not a lot done so far, but the bottom part takes about as much time as the whole upper. I know, it's ridiculous. But there's a lot of smaller detail in there. Like this section will be quick. I'm telling you, the upper is going to go by quick. That's why it's going to be satisfying when we do the bottom part first. So that way the rest is good. And the Warriors have the ball. I'm telling you, though, if they win this game, it's just going to suck. Because the series is going to be over. Later, dude. What's up, Deej? Deej, I think you're asking me if I can subscribe to you. If you want me to be honest, you got to give me a reason to subscribe to you. You got to give me good content that I would see, that I would like, that appeals to me. Because if I just subscribe to you just to subscribe, it's not really helping you out, you know? I want to help you guys out. I want to help you guys grow. But if I just subscribe to you, it's an empty subscription. You need subscriptions that matter. You need the people that are going to come back, look at your channel, look at your content, support you in every which way. What would I like to see? I want to see whatever you would like to make, whatever makes you happy. If you hate making gaming videos, do not make gaming videos. Coupon markers off Amazon. Yeah, I got them off of Amazon. They are expensive. I would compare prices. Amazon is not the only place you can buy stuff, even though it is super convenient. It's always a good place to start, so that way you can get an idea for what pricing is. But you should always check multiple places. So if you're looking to buy Copic markers, you can try their website. I don't know if they sell them on their website, but you might as well try it there first. Try Amazon. Try Michael's. You know, try Hobby Lobby. All of those shops. Try them all out. See what the prices are. Compare them. Also, if you're going to use Michael's and Hobby Lobby, they always got coupons out. Always got coupons out. So you can look at their coupons, see if they got like a 40% off. Sometimes they got like a 50% off a one-time item or whatever. So if you're looking at markers at Hobby Lobby and they're $300, and you're looking at markers on Amazon, they're $200, you might think, oh, I'll get the Amazon ones. Well, if you have a 50% off coupon, then you might as well go with the Hobby Lobby ones. You see? So always keep an eye out for that. Whenever I go to Michael's, I don't step into Michael's without a coupon. I always got a coupon on deck. And if you don't get, because like when you go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and you make an order or whatever, they're going to ask for your email. And if you haven't been there before, they're going to add you into their system. Once they get your email address and your physical address, that's when you start getting coupons in the mail. And it's always really convenient to get them in the mail. But you can get coupons online too. You can go on Retail Me Not. That's a popular website where people go and they get coupons that are available, because it's like a website that compiles the list of active coupons. So basically, the website already has done the work for you at looking at what's available. I play PUBG, and I know Fortnite is the popular game, and I've seen footage of Fortnite, so I know how it is. I just have no desire whatsoever to play Fortnite. I just like the realistic feel of PUBG better in that style of game, because it's what's the name of it? It's Battle Royale, right? So Battle Royale, like if it's gonna be a Battle Royale type of game mode, for me, I just have more fun if it's more realistic. So in that case, I would go PUBG. That being said, I told one of my coworkers that I would consider trying Fortnite. And if I'm going to try Fortnite, I think it's only fair that I do like a minimum of 5 games, because it's not fair for me to play one game of Fortnite and say, okay, that was that, and then never try it again. So I think 5 tries is a good serving size to see if I like it or not. If I don't, it's like, well, dude, I played 5 games. Like, what else do you want me to do? You know? Let's see. I went to Michael's and they got sets for 12 or $50. Oh, okay. And real quick, the Copics, right? If you ask me, I would go with Copics. The reason why, again, I didn't know about this until not too long ago, because you have the refills. You can refill those markers. So even though initially they're expensive, what's up, Joe? Even though initially they're expensive, after you buy the marker the one time and you get the refill pack, the marker pays for itself, because the initial marker is like, I don't know, like what, $7, $8? We'll call it $8 just to keep it simple. We'll call it $8. When you buy the refill pack is like $6 or $7, and it refills it like 5 times over. So I don't know, whatever the math is on that. The point is, it pays for itself. So if you have a few colors that you know you're going to use, so if you do a lot of people, a lot of illustrations, you're probably going to get a few skin tones. And then if you get the refills for that, you've pretty much got like a good set of markers for a long time. But if you buy the set of Copic markers, half the markers you might only use once, if that. So you got to weigh your options and be like, is it make more sense to get a pack of like 70 or 50 if I'm only going to use 12 of them? Or does it make more sense to save up, get the 12 markers I need, and occasionally get the refills as I need them? So that's another thing you got to figure too. Touch 5, really good. I don't know too much about Touch 5. There's a lot of different brands out there that make good quality markers, which some people, like, they get like nervous because, like, how do you know what to pick? Pick whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's going to do whatever it's supposed to do. And as long as it, like, doesn't screw up your artwork, like, some markers have terrible bleed, meaning when you apply pressure onto the paper, it just releases way too much ink. That's usually where I draw the line with the marker. If not for that, though, it's all fair game. Just use whatever you think works best for you. I draw DBZ. I love DBZ, bro. That's one of the shows that really got me into drawing. That and Yu-Gi-Oh! Both of those shows. I love the art style. But Dragon Ball Z was my show growing up, because they don't show it on TV anymore, but the saga that like blew my mind, the Buu saga, because they had like Dragon Ball Z Kai, and they didn't have the Buu saga in there because I guess there was a lot of moments in there that they couldn't get away with doing because of whatever legal reasons. So they never really had that. So if you're younger, like most of you are, you might not have seen the Buu saga. I'm sure you have if you're a DBC fan, but if you like Dragon Ball Z, and if you've never seen the Buu saga, I think it is worth to watch. It's really good. And also, that's where Goku goes Super Saiyan 3. If you've ever seen that scene, you know the music in the background is badass. So it makes it worth it. I don't watch too much Dragon Ball Super. I saw like the first 20 episodes, and I've just fell so far behind it. I know Jiren is really strong, and he's giving Goku and all of them problems. I don't know if they've already like ended that fight, but I know he was strong. But I'm definitely not caught up with that. There's a lot I need to catch up with. The one thing though that I'll say is, like with Dragon Ball Super, like when I started watching it, the power leveling just got ridiculous, because at least in the original Dragon Ball Z series, what is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. That's fine. Yeah, in the original Dragon Ball Z series, it was a much slower progression to get stronger. But it feels like in Super, these mother effers are just leveling up like nobody's business. Like, calm down. And I get like not every enemy can be defeated with like thought and like strategy. I used to draw Dragon Ball Z. Not as good as Z though. If you drew your thumbnail, you've always been a better drawer of Dragon Ball Z than me. You know what's my show though? You know what's my show though? Naruto. I am a nerd for Naruto, man. That is my show. That show changed my life. That's one of those shows where it's like I finished watching it, like when that final fight with Sasuke and Naruto happened. I'm like, how is there people alive on this earth that hasn't seen this? Like I thought it was that good, man. I'm like, this show is amazing. Although there is a lot of BS in there. Like you have to get over the fact that like Naruto, not Shippuden, but like Naruto, the first part of it, is a lot of dumb, silly stuff. Like you have to get over that. But once you do, it's such a good show. Oh my god. Like for those of you who haven't watched this show, let me just describe it to you. Uh, Young boy gets really freaking strong, really freaking fast. That's basically the show. Sports and stuff, you need to watch Naruto. If you want to see like, okay, sports and stuff, perfect example. So you like basketball, obviously, right? I bet you part of the reason why you like basketball is you like seeing how good certain players are compared to others. You like seeing that excellence. Well, Naruto has a lot of that. You get to see how strong some of these people are in the series. And when they get strong, they get strong. And it's super, super fun to watch. It's a lot of episodes, though. I'm not going to lie. But you can probably knock it out in a summer or two. It's definitely worth it. Like I said, it changed my life. Now I run funny. No, just play. Just play, just play. I don't run like that. With my hands behind the back. Yeah, there's an English dub. Although most people don't like the English dub because they think the person who voices Naruto sounds weird. And that might be true, but I don't know. I've just kind of gotten used to it. 10%. Okay, so I'm going to unplug the headphones and plug in the phone so that way it doesn't die. And then we're going to see how the audio still is after that. Don't fall. All right, so let me know if you guys can still hear me. And are we charged? Are we charging? Yes, we are. All right, yeah, okay, cool. As long as you guys can hear me, we're good. Just to recap, we are almost done. We're basically halfway done. The bottom part is like half of it. What I'm using is Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Illustrator. This is my bread. This is my butter. It's a great piece of software. Has made me all the money I've ever earned with freelance work. Well, not all the money, but pretty much damn most of it. I've never thought about doing animation. Yeah, Adobe Illustrator. You'd have to look on their website. Like I was mentioning earlier, there's plans. So you can get one piece of Adobe software for, I think, $10 a month. So you would need like your parents' credit card or whatever. So in theory, you could get Illustrator for like $10 a month. Ooh, okay. I have to keep an eye out for what happens then. If Curry's injured, hey, remember I was talking about this? We're like the list of things that had to happen in order for the Cavs to win. You need LeBron to either average a triple-double or get like 40-plus points. You need J.R. Smith to stay off the Hennessy. You need Kevin Love to get a double-double. And then you also need one of the main Warriors players to get injured. So like Steph Curry or Kevin Durant. And then you also need Michael Jordan to get back out of retirement and Jesus Christ to come off the bench. You need all those things. But if you can do that, then you have a good chance of winning. So imagine Jesus Christ coming off the bench. The Warriors would lose. Can't stop JC. And then somebody was just commenting. People would say I can't draw. Man, let me tell you what. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got an opinion. And if people say that they can do something better than you, then they can do it. What could you do to stop Jesus? I don't know. ISO probably wouldn't work. One-on-one, he's like undefeated. I don't know. You'd probably have to double team him and then have him like pass the ball to J.R. Smith, and then J.R. Smith would probably miss it. No, but if I'm playing with Jesus Christ, I'm passing the ball to him. This guy walked on water. Like, his shot's probably wet. But then, all right, so the Cavs are down by 3, getting close to the end of the third quarter. Again, it's not looking too good for our heroes. Can they pull this off? Will they win? Find out on the next episode. And in case you guys are wondering, I do plan on live streaming for the rest of the finals games. Hopefully it goes to 7 games, but yeah. Hopefully. No, I don't have donations. I appreciate it, though. Not at the moment. Eventually, I'll get into all that. My first step is just to make sure I upload videos. Your whole family? Okay, so that means I can't I can't say anything bad. I have to make sure my vocabulary is on point. No swearing for me. Not that I would ever swear. I would never do that. Gotta be a good influence to the youth. Okay, we're almost done with this freaking part. Yeah, you can put it on social media. I appreciate it, bro. I always appreciate it. All right, and then for this last part, I don't know. We'll just do something like that. I don't even know. We can do something like that, and that's fine. That's good enough for me. Well, maybe that. Okay, but now that's fine. Now I'm perfectly satisfied. So now we can just maybe something like this. No, that works. So we can do that. And then we can grab this guy. No, we can grab this guy. And we can do the same. Boom. Now, outsole is done. Except for that one part. I have to tackle that. Is it just black? Yeah, it's just black. Okay, cool. So, yes, outsole is done. Finally, the hard part is over, in essence. So, in case you're wondering, this is where we're at right now. And if you do ask me, it's looking beautiful. LeBron, only 21 points. And they're only down by 2? Okay. I don't play 2K. I don't play a lot of video games. I play pretty much PUBG, and that's about it. PUBG and Super Smash Brothers. Those are my games. Those are my games. All right, let me do the midsole. This midsole is going to be way quicker than the outsole, I'm telling you guys. Because, like, just think about it. You see all these little pieces that I had to cut up? All that work, all that pain. And then when you compare that just to the rest of the shoe, it's just a lot smoother. Your mom had you when she was 15? Yeah, the high school that I went to, they had a nursery because there was a lot of mothers who had children at younger ages there. So now we're just going to kind of go around over here. Again, this is going to be a lot faster than the other part. She's 27. I'm 23 and 9/10, basically. Appreciate it, sports and stuff. And again, remember, like, it's not like I was just hardcore going at this. I'm also live streaming. I'm talking to you guys. I'm trying to stay animated. So if I like really buckled down and like thought this process through and worked at it, I could probably do this a little quicker, I would say. She would probably like to date you, maybe. Probably, maybe. Which one is it? Nah, it's all good. Okay, so now we have this piece. But, I'm going to go ahead, cut this piece out of it, cut this piece, and then I have a few videos where I have my face in it. I'm not going to do a face frontal view right now because my hair is a mess. I did a 3.5 mile run right before the stream, so not trying to brag, but I look disgusting. I'm definitely tired. I do have a car. It is a luxurious Toyota Camry. That's a joke, by the way. It's not luxurious. I think it's luxurious. It's nice. And do I think Katie's a snake? Here's the thing. It's not that I hate using the term snake because it gets tossed around loosely, even though it really does apply in this instance. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, it definitely does apply. But here's what I'll say. And just to recap, in case you guys don't know why this is a good question. So 2 years ago, when the Warriors had their 73-win season, okay, Kevin Durant was still on the Oklahoma City Thunder. And they were up 3-1 on the Warriors. The Warriors, who had the great season, okay? And they ended up losing the series. And it was embarrassing because you should never lose 3-1. When you lose 3-1, would you ever stream on Twitch? Or I would do Twitch. I'm not, again, streaming for me is new. So there's a lot of this that I'm unfamiliar with. So there's going to be little tweaks here and there. But regardless of where I stream, the goal is just to make sure that streaming still is a thing as the channel goes on. So that way I continue to do it because I like it. It's fun. But yeah, they were up 3-1 against the Warriors. And you could argue that Kevin Durant is part of the reason why they weren't able to advance past the Warriors, because when they needed him most, he vanished. No, that's a Avatar reference. But, you know, he's their superstar. He is literally their superstar. He is their Olympian. He is their player who is supposed to elevate them past the odds when the going gets tough. And he came up short in 3 different instances. Now, it doesn't help that in Game 6 of that series, Klay Thompson had that few-minute stretch where he just kept draining threes that kept them in the game and that ultimately allowed them to stay close enough to win the game and then, of course, win the series. So Klay Thompson always gets a lot of credit for that, and that's true. But, I mean, Kevin Durant, like, if you were watching that series, he was the reason why they lost. It wasn't Westbrook. I mean, I guess you could say it was, but not as much as him. Like, his shooting percentage wasn't good. So if we want to break it down in numbers, like, he literally didn't help as much as he normally does. And that's not a good look, man. If you're the reason why your team lost and then you go to the team that beat you, the team that beat you because you didn't play well, it's just not a good look. I don't think it's a good look. He has the right to do whatever he wants, but I also have the right to think that it wasn't the right way to go about it. I wouldn't have done that if I was him. At least I don't think I would have. I would have stuck it out because I just got here. What's going on? What's going on, man? Just doing some illustrations. Deej is back. But yeah, I think he should have just stuck it out. He should have learned from that experience. He should have came back the following year, so last year, with a fire in his belly, ready to prove everyone wrong and ready to show that he is ready to take his team to the next level and get them past the Warriors. and it never happened. So it's sad. It's a missed opportunity. And because he did what he did, the way he did it, it made the path of him becoming an all-time great player get much difficult. The reason is now he doesn't get as much respect as he could have had because of the decision that he made. If you want to go and join a 73-win team, go right ahead. But when you do what you did, you leave yourself vulnerable for a lot of criticism that is warranted. Because of what he did, they're probably going to win this year. They won last year. If he stays for another year, they're probably going to win that year too. And you could argue that he was a big reason why the league was, I guess, ruined for a period of time. This, we can put this. What's my favorite show? Good question. I don't really watch a lot of shows. Honestly, I watch mostly basketball. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. I love basketball, so. But again, if I have to pick a show, I don't know. Bob's Burgers is funny. I started watching a little bit of The Office. That's a funny show. Makes me laugh. Yeah, we're gonna do some of this. This is where it starts happening. And so my home team, the team that I root for, regardless of whether or not I want to or not, is the Orlando Magic. They're my home team. My favorite team, I would have to say, honestly, Philly. Philly this year is my favorite team. Something about them was just really entertaining. They had a lot of swag, right? A lot of good energy to them. I think they're going to be a great team for years to come. If LeBron goes there, I'll be freaking out. I'll hop on the Philly bandwagon. I'm not even kidding. I think it'd be so much fun. I think it'd be good for the league. But yeah, Philly is my favorite team this year. Watch, now that I've said this, something's going to happen where Joel Embiid gets injured, and then they never get past a certain point, and then I'm just always going to be thinking, what if? That would suck, but, I mean, just my luck, right? It does remind me of his hair, too. I don't listen to any of his music, by the way. Again, not hating on the guy, but his music doesn't provide me with anything that I want, which is entertainment. His music is not for me. And that's the benefit of music, I guess. You can find what flows with you. But yeah, his style, like, if we think about Tekashi 6ix9ine style, like, for me, it's a lot of, like, yelling and hype. But if I was going to go for that, I would go for, like, somebody like Meek Mill, you know? Or somebody like Travis Scott. That's more appealing type of, like, hype, up-tempo music that I like. So let's cut this up. My favorite video with Tekashi in it, though, I think it's like the music video for his song Gummo, but it's like a different song playing, and it's like cutting up the clips so that way it looks like he's singing it. And I forget the name of the song, but it's like it's like one of those like white boy band artist things. I forgot the name of the song, but it was so funny. Because the music video is ridiculous, I think. Again, it's all entertainment. What is your favorite shoe that you've drawn? back before I started my videos, I did a drawing of the LeBron 10 Elite. Was it? No, it was what the LeBron 10. Yes, what the LeBron 10. If you go back in my Instagram, you have to go back deep. It's like one of the earlier posts before I did the videos. I did a what the LeBron 10, and I liked how it came out. Came out really good in my biased opinion. But yeah, that would be the one, because that's the one where like I really tried to go for a lot of detail for the first time in a drawing, and I didn't think I could do it, and I just proved myself wrong, and it came out looking really good. And again, when you prove yourself wrong, it's a good feeling, because it's like, oh, I did the thing that I didn't think I could do. All right, again, just kind of recap where we're at. Look at this bad boy. How long have I been drawing shoes? Since 9th grade, so almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. Let's do, again, if I'm thinking about this, like what part should I do next? I'll probably do the back panel, right? And then I might do this front panel, and then I might do a separate layer. We'll do this black weaving. We'll add the background, and then that's pretty much it. We'll probably be done by the time this game's over, if not shortly after it. So that's always good. So again, we're just gonna do this one step at a time. It'd be safer if I did this on a separate layer, though. I can already see this being messed up. So we're just gonna do that real quick. Do I wanna? Yeah, why not? It's my life, I do what I want. If I wanna make these lines like this, I can make these lines like this. And again, if you have Illustrator, or if you're able to get it, or if you're able to get another piece of software that accomplishes something similar, and again, all I'm doing is, I'm using Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator. All I'm essentially doing is I'm taking an image, putting it in here, and then I'm using a tool. In this case, it's the pen tool, and I'm going around recreating shapes. With those shapes, I'm adding color to those shapes, and then I'm cutting those shapes up as I need them to get finer levels of detail, and that's it. So if you can find a piece of software that can do that, which it sounds more complicated than it is, and if you can get that for cheaper, then, I mean, by all means, you can do exactly what I'm doing. And I'm sure there's pieces of software out there. If I did some research, I'm sure I can find some stuff. So we're going to cut this up right. Ooh, no. We're actually going to take this and kind of ride this wave. You see that? We can ride that like that. Maybe we can take this, do something like that, and we'll have that as a good start. So probably cut that up one more time. Yeah. And I'm sure you guys know this by now, but you see how I make the general shape, and then I take those general shapes, cut it up into sections where there's clearly separations in color, and I break those sections up into smaller sections, and that's basically it. So like we have this shape, and all I'm gonna do is just cut it in half. Cut it in half like a sandwich. I'm gonna turn that shape that color, make this shape this color, and boom. Now, for continuity's sake, probably make the piece that's outside darker. So I'll grab this color, and I'll make this like a lighter color, just so that way it's similar to that piece. Hell, I'll even grab that piece. And you see, and that works. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to work. Okay, so maybe we'll ride this wave. And we can make this piece like a mid-gray right there. This would be probably close to a black. Yep. And then when we have this piece, we can literally just cut that up there because why not? And that might be it. We'll cut it up here because why not? I really don't use it. Okay. Best NBA players, best three. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and third best. Ooh, that's a tricky one. Third best NBA player. If not LeBron, if not KD, I would say Anthony Davis? Question mark, question mark? Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I'd probably go with Anthony Davis as like a panic pick. I would feel pretty good about that. But yeah, probably Anthony Davis. Why not? In a few years, he's going to be really good anyway. I could see Giannis. But James Harden, I could see James Harden. But if you want to make the argument for James Harden, then the argument I would make to counteract that would be his shooting percentage for those last two games in the series against the Warriors. All right. Now, that's not to say that Anthony Davis didn't get swept by the, or not swept, a gentleman's sweep, so a 5-game sweep by the Warriors. But as far as I remember, his numbers were still there. Part of being a great player is always having consistency, or at least for the most part being consistent. And part of being consistent is not just being consistently average, but consistently good. Right? It's not just about, oh, did you score some points today? No, it's like, oh, are you maintaining your high point average, your 20-plus point average? Are you doing that? Are you doing that often? And more importantly, is whatever your average is helping your team win games? Because nobody cares if you don't win games. Well, it was just Chris Paul, so... Yeah, he had to try to carry. But again, like, it's the moments that define greatness. Because if James Harden carries them for one of those two games, we're not talking about the Warriors. We're talking about the Cavs and the Rockets. And that changes everything, you know? So those things matter. I have not designed a shoe that I tried to make. And to be honest, at the moment, that wouldn't be super interesting to me. Because that's a lot of work. I would like to do that one day, but when I have the appropriate skills. Let me, because I forgot to do this. I looked over at my, why is this so weird? All right. Oh yeah, that's right. So we can do this. We can do this, 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 this. And what we're gonna do is that. What we're gonna do is maybe this. We can bring this back, make this black. Bring it up. Maybe make this a little bit darker. Okay, maybe a little more darker. Yeah. Again, we could spend like another 10 minutes on there, but I don't think I want to. Jared almost got broken, I think, right? It is. Is there more groin kicks going on? Jesus Christ, what's wrong with these people? Okay, and again, just to kind of recap. So we do have a little bit to do. But when you think about it, we just have this black piece to do, this front piece, and for the most part, we're done. So I say we do that real quick. Let's just do the front just to get it out the way. Which YouTubers do you follow? Follow a number of them. Quick Draw, Love quick draw stuff. We did that collab video, of course, so I'm biased. Philip DeFranco, I like. He's pretty good. Get a lot of inspiration from Roberto Blake. I like watching Mike Korzemba's video. I watch SDC almost, no, I watch his videos every day. Not almost every day, every day. And then I watch a lot of like videos of like the debate shows. So like I'll watch like their arguments and stuff, see what they say. Usually it's like Stephen A. Smith saying something ridiculous, or Skip saying something ridiculous. Like, LeBron played great, but he should have had 53 points instead of 51. You know, like, you know how they are. It's all good fun. If that was Jordan, Jordan would have had 51 and sealed away the game. Which is true. But people, like, I feel people want to change the greatest of all time conversation to who's the closest to Michael Jordan conversation, you know? Because people forget, like, Kareem is actually still in that conversation, too. At least I would think. I put him up there. That front part's done. So now we're going to add the webbing on the side, which, again, should hopefully be easy. And then, okay, so I can just kind of recap. If, I'm going to get my car salesman voice going, hey, you, are you looking to start a YouTube channel? Well, if you are, buckle up. I have some tips and tricks for you. So, number one thing, you're going to make videos, of course, right? That's what YouTube is, making videos, posting videos. You have to make videos that people would want to see. So, as much as you would want to, you know, really want to upload a video of you filming your grass growing, people might not want to see that, right? So it has to be entertaining. It has to be something that a decent amount of people would want to watch. Now, it can't just be something that people would want to watch. Like, for example, gaming videos. People want to see gaming videos. But how many gaming videos are out there? How many people are making gaming videos? Is your stuff going to stand out? How can you make your stuff stand out? Well, you can look at your skill set and say, can I do something different that nobody else is doing? If everybody's making gaming videos, but nobody's making gaming videos while freestyling, maybe you should make gaming videos while freestyling, you know? You got to find a niche that's not tapped into and explore that. Or you should do something that nobody else is doing, right? So if nobody's making yarn videos, I know this is a terrible example, but just stick with me for a second. If nobody's making yarn videos, and if people would want to watch that, you should make yarn videos, right? Or if people are making gaming videos, then you could look at it as like, how can I do what somebody else is doing but do it better? So if you have a really great energetic personality, maybe your personality is a personality that will stay better with the viewers, and it will make you different enough for people to want to watch your content. Maybe your editing is really good. Maybe you know how to do excellent editing that stands out from all the other editing videos that are done. Maybe you have interesting viewpoints on video games, right? And I'm staying with the video game category because it's by far the most congested category in YouTube. Like, I uploaded YouTube videos of like gaming clips before I started my YouTube channel, and that was on accident. So when I say there's a lot of gaming videos out there, there's a lot of gaming videos out there. And it's not a matter of, you know, just making videos that would be entertaining. You also have to look at what you're good at and what you would like to make. What brings you joy? You're currently in class. Well, Well, here's the thing. You say nobody's ever going to be like Jordan, but there was a player that got pretty close to the greatness of Jordan, and that man is Kobe Bryant. He embodied everything that Jordan is. And if there was ever anybody to like be a Jordan clone, it would be Mr. Kobe Bryant. By the way, what am I doing? Oh, I gotta close it up. Okay, so, and then we can kind of do this. I will say this though, for what the heck? There we go. For the Jordan argument, a lot of people are like all over him and stuff because not just the success he had, obviously he had success. Okay? Obviously he had a lot of success. But he also, yeah, don't feed your dog Cheetos. I'm pretty sure it's illegal somewhere. Don't do it. Part of, oh my God, they're up by 4. Again, guys, the Cavs cannot lose this game. They cannot lose this game. If they lose, the series is over, basically. Which is fine. I guess the offseason would start quicker, and then we can kind of see what's going on with the draft. Speaking of the draft this year is going to be crazy because there's a lot of good players, and my Orlando Magic are not going to pick any of them. They're going to manage to not get anybody good, and I'm just going to be here upset, like I usually am, about the decisions they make. It's a 1-point game. Nah, but you got to make videos that people would want to watch and that you would want to make. If you don't find any enjoyment uploading the videos that you're uploading, then it's not worth it. You got to find that sweet spot. And sometimes that sweet spot doesn't come easy. Sometimes people can't get that sweet spot right away. Sometimes you have to like build up your skills. Because what if your ultimate skill is that you have a great personality, but you're like, 10 years old and you're still growing? Like your personality is going to change completely over the course of a few years. So what if the 18-year-old version of you is perfect for YouTube, but the 10-year-old version for you isn't ready for YouTube, right? So then you got to think about it as like, okay, instead of trying to be the perfect version of what I need to be a good YouTuber, you could look at it as, what can I work on right now that I already have a decent foundation in that would be beneficial for me in the future, regardless of whatever I do. So if that is drawing, then draw. Get better at drawing. So you could either A, make a YouTube channel on your drawings in the future, or just be able to draw good. And if people want to, pay you money to do a drawing of them or their cat or whatever, but that sounds like a joke, but it's true. Like if somebody's going to pay you to draw their cat, what are you going to do? Not draw their cat? No, if their money is green and it's American, you're probably going to take their money and you're going to draw their cat, no matter how ugly their cat is. So you got to do what you like that people would want to see. That's my, LeVar is trying to bribe the Lakers and sign LeAngelo. I'm sure he is. Magic Johnson, I'll give you 3 Lonzo slides if you sign LeAngelo. Nah, man, LeAngelo ain't getting into the league. He ain't getting into the league, bro. I'm sorry, LeAngelo. And I wish you the best. And it's not to say you're bad at basketball, but like, what's the rumor or the saying that was going? It's like 2 in a possible. So you have Lonzo, LaMelo, and then he's the possible, meaning he's not a shoo-in to get a job as an NBA basketball player. And again, that sucks, but that's life. It's not like he doesn't have a smaller mansion or, a smaller house or anything. He still will have a lot of money because of his father and his family. And yeah, it's going to suck, but, I mean, life sucks, so ebbs and flows. If you can't take your defeats, then do you really deserve your victories? Again, somebody's got to get me with these quotes. I've been a quote machine. Oh my God. It's a 4-point game. I'm telling you guys, this is not looking good for our heroes. Oh my God, this game is over. It's like watching like your son die. That's basically how I feel. Even though LeBron is like almost 10 years older than me, still is how it feels. I've watched him grow and lose. I think LaMelo still has to develop his body. Because he's skinny, man. And, like, when you go into the NBA, it's not like you're going up against college kids. These are grown men, you know? Their bodies are developed. As developed as they're ever going to be. So, and you have to be able to deal with that. Can you bang with those guys that are like 40 pounds heavier than you? Can your body physically handle it? Because if it can, then you can't play in the league. Simple as that. That's why when a player like LeBron comes around, like, he's a freak athlete. Oh, yeah. Let's do that, and then let's do this. That's why I'm excited about, like, Ben Simmons and all these other players. Let's do this. I mean, I'm always excited about basketball stuff, but especially, like, young talent that looks like they could make a difference. Like, this rookie season, like, the rookies that we've had this season played spectacularly. Donovan Mitchell, Kyle Kuzma. You can put Lonzo in that conversation, rightfully so. Obviously, we got Ben Simmons, which you could debate on that. That's fine. Markelle Fultz, for like the 5 minutes he was playing, he looked good, right? That Lowry marketing kid, he looked pretty good. Dennis Smith Jr. I'm missing somebody else. I know I'm missing somebody else. De'Aaron Fox, Jamar Jackson or whatever, Malik Monk. All these boys had a good rookie season. And why it's important is because, I want the league to get better. And you know how the league gets better? When you get 10 rookies that come into the league and they immediately make it better. That's how you get the league to get better. I'm sad too, man. If there's anything we learned from this game, is that LeBron is not staying. I don't know what the stat sheet is, or the stat line is, but I don't think LeBron had more than 30 points. His eye is still red? What the heck? He needs some milk. Damn, bro. So now they're down 0-3. Katie has what? Sheesh. All right. I'm getting pretty tired of doing this too. So I'm going to try to wrap this up as soon as possible. We're almost done though. I know I said that before, but now I'm doubling down on it. If you guys want like an accurate quote on how long it's going to take for me to finish this, I would say, again, let's just kind of recap where we're at because it's important. Otherwise, how else are we going to know? Working on that last part. LeBron has 33. 33 is not enough, though. Not in a win, at least. So we're almost done with that part, and then we're just going to add the color on top, and then we're pretty much done. I'm going to say 10-ish minutes plus tax. We're going to do this, though. To everybody who has stayed for most of the stream, I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I'm happy that you guys stayed, watched the stream. Hopefully the stream was more entertaining than the Cavs losing. And if not, that means you really love basketball, and I'm happy to hear that. Yes, bro, sports and stuff. Real MVP. And again, this series is probably going to be over in 4 games, but I'll be doing a Game 4 live stream as well, so at least we have that looked forward to. As well as, like, other live streams. Curry had 11 points. Yeah, Kevin Durant had 43. 43, 13, and 7. If you're wondering how I know that, but I don't know like anything else because the notification popped up. Curry had 11 points. If they would have lost, he would be grilled for that. But because they won, not so many people are going to care tomorrow morning. And, you know, rightfully so. Winning fixes a lot of problems. That's why Durant went to the Warriors. Winning fixes everything, bro. I'm telling you this, though. I'm predicting right now, it would not surprise me one bit if he went back to OKC. Here's the thing, though. 1 for 10 from 3, I can do that. You know? I can go 1 for 10 from 3. He can't. Or he shouldn't, at least. Not the greatest shooter of all time. And I'm no mathematician. But 1 for 10 for 3 is like 10%. And I can go 10 for 10, bro. I can do 10%. Like, I can do that. Put me out there, coach. I'm telling you, give me a quick 10-day contract, give me a jersey. I can do that. I have the ability to shoot that bad. Heck, if they needed me to, I can do worse than that. I can go 0 for 10. I didn't expect that either. And I guarantee you when they ask him, he's going to be like, yeah, I don't know. Just had an off shooting. I just got to keep shooting the ball, trusting my teammates, trusting the process. That's crazy, though. Curry's going to have the same number of rings as LeBron when this is all said and done. 3 for 16? Jesus. This is actually going to be tricky. Get some rest. I'm just saying, if they come back from being down 0-3, holy moly. Kevin Durant would leave. Like, if they come back from down 0-3, Kevin Durant would leave. And he would Nah, he wouldn't join the Cavs. That'd be funny, though. There'd be memes on it, though, that's for sure. This just in. Kevin Durant signs with the Cavaliers after losing. I think he's going to go to back to Oklahoma City, though. I think a part of him leaving really kind of like psychologically killed his pride. I do blame the media, and I guess you could say us, the fans too, we put such a high onus on winning championships. And like, I do understand. I'll call you later. And then, like, what are these players supposed to do? You know, like they hear us talk about, oh, how many championships are they gonna win, and then the moment there is a team, and I'm done. Look at that. It's done. It's perfect. Now it's fine. Why isn't... There it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, and the moment a team arises that has a really good formula going for them, it's like, well, should I stay here and try to grind out a championship with Westbrook, or should I go and try to join these guys and hopefully win a ring, which he did. So on that point, he completed his goal. He did, you know, so he's not beholden to that same motivation that he once was. Meaning, if he wants to leave because he already has his chip, those cards are on the table, yo. That's all I'm saying. I'm no doctor, but that's my diagnosis. Okay. Almost. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna stretch. My back is killing me. Okay. Ooh, that's too light. We gotta... This is too dark, though. How can I decide what's too light, what's too dark? Just look at it. Your eyes are the best camera you will ever get in your entire life. And to prove that, have you ever taken a photo in darkness? And then have you ever, like, looked around your house at night? You can navigate your house pretty good. But if you were to take a photo in the darkness, it would not come out good whatsoever. The lenses in your eyes are better than any camera you can possibly buy. Unless you're trying to zoom in, then that's a different story. But I'm talking about in terms of raw quality, raw data capturing ability, our eyes are nuts. Very useful tools. Nike or Jordan? It's kind of like a, what's the term, like an oxymoron question, because isn't Jordan like a subsidy of Nike or whatever? Give tips on how to draw shoes. Practice. Draw the shoes that you like the most. Draw the shoes that you like the most. Because why are you going to draw something that you don't like, you know? You're not going to draw like a pair of shoes that you think is ugly. Find what pairs of shoes you think are your favorite and start there. Try to draw those, you know? See if you can figure out how those were sketched out. And then from there, tweak it. Make it your own. If your favorite shoe is a LeBron 11, but you want to see a LeBron 11 with the strap, make a LeBron 11 with the strap. Nobody's stopping you. You just have to draw it, you know? But then it's like, you know what, this looks good, but let's change up these things, and then we kind of tweak this a little bit, and we do something with this, and then bam, after working at it for like 5 minutes, now you have this shoe that's completely different from any other shoe that's ever been made. And it's your shoe. You made it. And you can tweak that for like another 10 minutes. And it's way different. And you just kind of rinse and repeat that, and that's basically it. Now, footwear design is a lot more complicated than that, but that's the essence of it. The simplicity of that is the core of footwear design. At least that's what I think it is. I could be wrong. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Okay, so we have that. We're going to add, or we're going to cut up the colors real quick for this background. And we could do the rest, but man, I'm telling you, I need to sleep. So, what's up, Deej? We're almost done, Deej. I'm literally going to add this color, and then I'm satisfied, and then we're good. So, let's just take it one section at a time. I got like another 5 minutes in me, and then I'm going to bed. And then we can kind of maybe like do this. And then we can maybe like do this. Yeah. Deej, I appreciate you, but like, I need to sleep, my guy. I got work tomorrow morning, and I got school tomorrow morning. What are Yeezys? If you don't know what Yeezys are, then you might not understand them. Which is honestly like the best description of them I can give. Yeezys are expensive sneakers designed by the legendary Kanye West, who recently released an album that I listened to today, and honestly wasn't that good. Oh, okay. That makes sense then. Yeah, I listened to Kanye's album. I probably won't listen to it again for a while. There's just not a song on there that really does it for me. And again, I'm doing this loosely, but like I said, I'm super, super tired. No, we're gonna just do this. And again, like I was saying earlier, the sweet spot is in the outsole, so it's okay if the upper is a little plain spaghetti. And since we're almost done, guys, let me know what you think of these live streams. I think they're fun. I can see myself doing a lot of these. It's a good time. Ooh, we gotta work with this though. And then this probably needs to be a little lighter. No, what the heck? We'll do something like that. And then we'll manually adjust them. I like it too because I like to talk to you guys, you know, have the conversation, talk about basketball, talk about life. And I feel like you guys get a lot more information out of me this way than you would if I just uploaded a video, because now you're like getting to listen to all my thoughts. Tips on how to draw shoes. Just look at a picture of your favorite shoe and try to draw the shoe as close to the picture as you can. And what I mean by that is like make sure it looks close proportionally, make sure it looks close in terms of like the placement. So like that strap should be in the same spot that it is in the actual shoe, that it is in your drawing. It shouldn't be like way off to the side. And if you look at my how to draw videos, I think I do a pretty decent job of kind of breaking down placement. So that way you guys can use that to your advantage. This is starting to look saucy. And with this upper especially, we could spend a lot more time working on it. But like I said, my back hurts, so I need to end this in just a minute. So, real quick before I end the stream, and when I upload this, because I'm going to upload like the quick time-lapse version of this, I'll have the completed version on the thumbnail as well as like in the end of the video. But this is what we made so far. Obviously, a lot of the time was spent on the outsole as well as talking. And we probably would have finished around the same time as the game ended if the game was competitive and actually lasted longer than it should have. But, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will be doing another live stream for the next game, which I believe is on Friday, which makes sense because they just went to Cleveland, so they only need one day in between each game. So I'll be definitely live streaming on Friday. Let me know in the comment section what sneaker or person I should be doing a digital illustration for. If you enjoy this video, leave a like, as well as check out my other content. I know you guys had a lot of questions about how to draw sneakers. If you kind of go through my videos of like the how to draw videos, if you kind of refresh on that, even if it's like a sneaker that I haven't done, you can kind of get the idea for the process. So that way you can apply it to whatever sneaker that you want to do. But I do want to get to the rest of the how to draw sneakers or the videos for like all the other sneakers sometime soon. Hopefully within the next month. It depends on how I can get this laptop working. But I do need to get some sleep because I'm super tired. Guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been 2 hours and some change. And this looks pretty good, I think. Obviously, we could add more to it. A lot more to it. We could finish off the top. But I think it came out good. Guys, thank you. You guys are all awesome. I hope you enjoy the stream. As soon as still kicking himself in the head for that. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy your night. Peace.